Looking at all the innovation from the TV service providers in the OTT space, they are creating these really unique environments that are smart and making personalized content recommendations for viewers. They know what you're going to want to watch based on what you've watched in the past. And the experiences have really improved from the days of our old cable boxes. And with that, we think the impetus is on us now to make sure advertising keeps pace. We want to make sure advertising does not fall behind and that it keeps pace with all the personalization and seamlessness of the viewing experience so that it doesn't become interruptive or annoying, which I think some people would say it probably has. And that's where our technology comes in, is it creates more targeted, relevant, engageable ad experiences.
So could you kind of give us an idea of the toolbox, I should say, the flavors of both interactive advertising and enhanced advertising, and kind of what you guys offer and who uses it?
Sure, yeah. So there's a personalization component and making sure that we're making commercials smarter, because we're delivering ads to very sophisticated devices now. They're not the dumb set-top boxes of old. So given that the sophistication of the endpoint, we can deliver highly personalized ad creative that is tailored to the individual. In its simplest form, that is seeing an ad for Benjamin Moore paint, and as a viewer, maybe I don't know where to buy Ben Moore paint, but now there's a dynamic overlay on top of that commercial that everybody's seeing, but is tailored to me, showing me the location and address and phone number of my local Benjamin Moore store, right? So all we've done there is just make a TV commercial a little bit smarter so that a viewer can take that next step. And that's one iteration. When we think about personalization, if we know a viewer's location, or technology knows a viewer's location, it can also recognize the person's current forecasted weather. And you think about, for retailers and apparel companies, they can now make product recommendations or feature products that in an overlay that are relevant to a viewer based on their existing or forecasted weather conditions. And the same goes for audience, right? With the growth of all this amazing third-party data out there of what people are buying, their brand preferences, their familial makeup and income, we've built a pretty hefty connected TV graph, household graph at the home level. So we've mapped all those segments to the home, so we can tailor creative specifically to a viewer based on prior purchased habits or brand loyalties and things like that. So for an advertiser, they can make that commercial a lot smarter and tailor their creative to a specific viewer, one-to-one, based on what they know about that home.
Creative versioning is expensive, though. How does the economic fit into that equation?
Right, so on that front, there's kind of two ways you can create a version. There's the spot itself, which, sure, that's technically possible, but like you pointed out, it's expensive. So it's not all that scalable today until there are better methods of creating versioned video. So that's where today we've mostly been emphasizing versioning the overlay itself. And that's pretty simple and turnkey. The media agencies can control and certainly know, hey, we want to show this product or this message to these types of households. That's all in a standard brief. And now we can do that. We can say, oh, we're going to create 4 overlays. They're going to speak to the 4 different sub-segments you have in your brief, this way, that way, and this way, and feature, right, the different products accordingly. So that's how you keep it scalable and also efficient.
And what about interactive advertising, where folks actually interact with their remote? Is that much of the mix, and where is that going?
Yeah, that has a role in brands that want to either get an attention metric on the viewer and understand and engage them a little bit more with the product, or start moving them down the funnel. Right, TV has historically been upper funnel, but now with kind of light engagement that you can do with the up, down, left, right on a remote, they can start moving down that. So when you think about auto brands, we see a lot of them doing car colorizers or rotators, right? Taking that extra little step of, oh, that's cool, a new, the 2018 vehicle is out. I want to see what it looks like in these different colors. So they've now started that path down the funnel and started to get a little hands-on with the product. When it comes to more mass brands like CPG, they tend to focus on just kind of fun, quick engagements that make sure you take away the key message of that product. For example, we've done something with like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, where you make one square, eat another square, and we get fairly high attention metrics on a commercial. So in the age of distraction, the agency now knows, okay, this % of people not only saw, but actually deliberately spent some time and engaged with the commercial.
So Rob, you guys work with the sell side, with the programmers. Explain a little bit how you work with their teams.
Sure. So we see ourselves as the tech enabler for them. to bring a toolkit of advanced ad experiences to market. So whereas historically they're offering standard 30-second, 15-second commercials in the environments they're delivering all their programming, with OTT becoming an increasingly bigger percentage of that, they're using our tech to have extra bells and whistles to add on to those commercials to make them more effective, either with personalization or with some sort of interactivity, or also with some better targeting. So we're not just the tech provider for that, but we're also providing marketing support and ideation behind the scenes, right? So helping brainstorm what are cool use cases of that big sponsorship this brand is doing. We're helping them figure out how this toolkit of ad formats we have can maybe enhance that or scale that in a bigger and more impactful way for OTT viewers.
So you're not on the sell side, you're not selling media, but you're working with media partners who are selling. How are they, what is the proposition that they're selling, and how does that impact the pricing that they can get?
Sure, yeah, I think the real nub of it is all of the TV networks are under pressure right now. They're all, it's pretty much an article a week at this point about how they're trying to increase revenue per stream while reducing ad load. I think there's a lot of talk of ad loads got a bit out of hand and got pretty annoying for viewers. But the only way you can do that is if you're offering more effective advertising experiences that you can charge more for, right? So that's really what we're trying to serve them on, is creating enhanced ad experiences that, if they're personalized to you, theoretically, they're going to have a bigger impact, they're going to drive greater foot traffic to your retailer, and in turn give the supply side the ability to also charge a premium for that. If they're more targeted, similar theory, and if people are engaging with them, again, you've now taken a upper funnel commercial that served maybe one KPI on that brand brief, and now it's serving 2 or 3 KPIs down the funnel.
I wanted to ask you, Rob, about performance metrics and sort of the demands in the marketplace, what you guys are doing, and some new developments.
Sure, yeah. So at its core, we're bringing digital tracking to television, which is pretty powerful as more and more people are watching their favorite broadcast and cable networks on these new sophisticated devices. So just being able to bring an attention metric, interaction rates, time spent, these are metrics that were never previously available for a television spot. And that's often where we'll start, and that's pretty powerful when agencies consistently see significantly higher engagement rates than they get on smaller screens. So it really proves out the power of the TV screen in the home. But from there, we're just scratching the surface of attribution, because these TVs are on the same home network as your other devices. So that means we can start to apply a lot of the same attribution, or the attribution companies that operate in web and mobile can start bringing their sophisticated reporting methodologies to TV. And one of those is something we're announcing shortly with Cuebiq, where our announcement with Cuebiq is that we're able to use their footfall attribution technology to measure the impact of an enhanced TV ad. So when a viewer is exposed to a personalized ad, or if they engage with a commercial, our partnership with Cuebiq allows us to report on what was the actual lift in foot traffic to that retailer, that QSR, or that restaurant by being exposed and or interacting with that commercial. And I think that is the tip of the iceberg in bringing the power of digital attribution to television.